adventure in Finland on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipe Man here on the Adventures Pipe Man W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Saviourself.
Nice. Here at Wacken. Oh my God.
Right.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's great, honestly. So we've been a band for almost 10 years, like different variations of band members. And last year we kind of had a bit of a drought of shows, didn't really play a whole lot of shows, and then we got picked up by Corrupted Blood Records, by our label.
Nice.
And they offered us all these amazing opportunities to play like Wacken, but also Impericon Festival, which is like a big festival here in Germany. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Like, before that happened, did you ever imagine coming to the Holy Ground to play?
It's always been a dream of mine, definitely. But I could never imagine that this really would happen someday. I mean, I always dreamed of it, and I always hoped.
Right.
But that someone is coming up telling us you're going to play at Wacken, that was an unreal experience for us.
Even for me, like I go on tour and I do festival coverage all over the US, UK, Europe. I do Hellfest every year. I do Grass Pop. I do Download, Bloodstock. I'll be going Bloodstock next week. I do all the US festivals. And like, this has been a goal. And when I got I was going to apply last year, and then something in my head said, don't. And you know what happened with the weather last year, so I'm like,
yeah. Good call.
Glad I listened to my head, to the voices in my head. Sometimes they're not very nice, but this time they were. But when I got the email, and I applied, and when I got, and like I usually never have a reason to worry about not getting approved, but you just never know. It's the biggest metal festival in the world.
It's crazy.
So when I got that email, I was like in the middle of something, and I think I shouted or something. Everybody looked at me because I was like, "Oh my God,
I got it.
I got in!"
Yeah.
Like, and it's like it is an unbelievable feeling, right?
It was the same with me. Honestly, the moment we got approved for Wacken, I was at home alone. And I didn't know what to do. I was just screaming in happiness, calling my mother. I'm like, "Mom, I'm at Wacken. I don't know what's happening."
Oh, that's so
I had
funny.
to tell someone.
Well, I did that with my youngest daughter. Like, she'll call me every week, every festival, and she'll be like, "So, Dad, you excited doing this festival?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know if excited's the right word when you do it every weekend, but it's a lot of fun. I love doing it." And when I got that, I'm like, "I'm fucking going to Wacken." And I'm like, I couldn't even say it, just like then, you know?
That's crazy.
And I was like texting all my kids, "I just got approved to do the biggest metal festival in the whole world. They call it the Holy Ground."
Yeah, it's great. So for me, it's been like I've never been to a festival as a visitor or...
Really?
Yeah, and obviously then I've never been to Wacken. And now is... for me, the first festival I've ever been to and the first festival I've ever played, because we've played some festivals before, as I've said, but I wasn't there. I didn't have the time to do it. So This is my first festival ever, not as a visitor, but as a musician. So I think that's even crazier.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to, now where do you go? Like, if that's your first ever, where is there to climb? Like, do a festival on the moon or something?
Well, I guess we're probably just going to have to climb the stages in a way. So we've played Wasteland, which is the smallest stage.
Yeah.
Still big.
How was it, though?
What's that?
How was it playing in Wasteland?
It was so great. We played at 2:00, so I could see everyone in the crowd. And that was really great, because usually when we play, inside club shows, lots of lighting, you don't really see what's going on, but I could really watch the crowd, appreciate what's happening. And that was what was so great about the show for me personally.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And we went to see some bands today at Headbanger Stage and what was the Pale
Louder
Face
Stage, I think.
Yeah, Louder Stage, and I was like, okay, that's the next step. Move from Wasteland to Headbanger Stage.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, let's put that out there in the universe next year.
Next year, whenever we're ready. I mean, there's still some other great festivals in Germany, like Rock am Ring. stuff like that. That's also, I think that's possible with the opportunities that we get from our label. I think that's entirely possible.
See, I love hearing that because I come from a time where the labels were not good to their artists. And it's so good to hear that there's labels nowadays that treat artists in a way that they bring it up in the interviews of how well they're treated.
Yeah. I mean, our label's a new label. They got like a very clear vision. They see like a niche in the market and they want to explore that. And I think that's why they're being so nice to us, treating us so nicely, because they see all of these opportunities and chances that we as musicians can get, but also that the label can get.
Absolutely. Yeah. So tell the listeners a little bit, not genre-wise, but what they can expect from your music if they've never listened to it before.
A combination of a lot of modern elements coming together with things we grew up with, like late 90s, early 2000s. You're gonna definitely hear our influences coming from there, like from the nu metal scene in the beginning of the 2000s. We also try to bring a lot of energy into our music, but also a lot of out-of-the-box thinking. So not just stay like in the box of metal, but take everything we can get from other genres. For example, like a lot of drum and bass maybe also, or like jungle was a great influence for us.
Nice. So what is it that really was that impetus one time, that initial feeling that you knew music is what you needed to do?
That's a great question. Like music was always a part of my life. I started playing guitar when I was 5.
Nice.
My mom put me into guitar lessons and I kind of stuck with it. I wasn't really motivated to do it. But at some point when I got into heavy metal, I listened to my dad's CD collection. So I grew up with like the classics, Metallica, Priest, Dream Theater, but also like bands like Korn were a thing in my youth. And I grew up with that, and that when I started listening to that music, that kind of clicked for me that I wanted to play guitar more. I was motivated. I spent my teenage years sitting in my bedroom, torturing my parents with way too loud music. And at that point, I knew I wanted to start a band and just do what I love.
Nice.
I think it's pretty much the same for me. So my parents kind of talked me into picking up a music instrument, and I picked the guitar. And at the beginning, I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna do it because my parents want me to do it." I got my guitar lesson once a week. It's gonna be fine. And then at some point, I don't even remember what happened, but at some point, something clicked in my head. Probably because I was getting better, and I just wanted to play the guitar. I didn't just want to do my lessons once a week, but I just wanted to play all the time. And then I also got like into heavy metal, like you said, pretty much kind of like the same bands. And from that point on, I started my first band when I was 14.
Nice.
I played with guys like, I think they were like 18 when we started, just because they were the only ones doing metal as well. And music's always been around, man. Could you just pull up my sleeve a bit? I got this thing tattooed here. There's nothing I love more than music.
Oh, that's true.
Music's always going to be around. Some people are going to leave you, but music's always going to be there for me. So that's that. Yeah.
It is the best therapy for you, the artist, and me, the listener. 100%.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that on this festival ground as well.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's in a good mood. No stress.
We escape all the bullshit of the world that everybody's obsessed with. Why are people obsessed with the bullshit? Just come to a music festival and enjoy your life.
Yeah, it's a way to kind of escape like the harsh reality that is our world right now.
Exactly. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
That's one of the big reasons I love leaving my country and going on tour and doing these festivals.
Yeah.
Because I don't even pay attention to what's going on when I'm doing this. I don't have time to.
Yeah.
And it's a much better life.
Yeah, it's calmer for sure. Yeah.
No doubt. Well, you guys are amazing, and I'm so happy for you that you played here at Wacken, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been a blast.
Well, I love hearing that. That's the best compliment I could get, because it isn't always a blast when you're doing press. So I'm always happy to hear that.
Thanks for having us.
You got it.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.